Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Peach State Power Hour presented by UGAsports.com. I'm your host, Paul Meharry, joined alongside Andy Stowe and Eddie from Acworth. I'm sitting in for our boy Harrison Reno tonight, so hopefully you guys will allow me to be here for tonight. And I'm looking forward to tonight's show as we did every show in the past. Andy, Eddie, this was Thanksgiving weekend, so I would be remiss if we didn't go around the table here and maybe, say what we're thankful for, maybe dog-wise and also family-wise as well. But again, guys, thank you so much for having me. This is kind of your domain now. I'm just here, so I'm just
you're an outsider now. Yeah, you're one of those outsiders.
If you're watching the show, let us know where you're watching from. Put the name and location where you're watching us from, and we'll be sure to get you shouted out. Haven't been in this office in a while. Things are moving around, so I got to fix that mid-show. But, guys, if you're here with us, let us know you're watching. We'll put you up on the show. Any questions that you have, let us know as well. And let's start with you, Andy. One thing you're thankful for in your sports world and in your daily world.
Kirby Smart, because all of the craziness that is going around in college football with Lane Kiffin, with – every coach, the Kennesaw State coach is leaving and UCF coach is leaving, and all the craziness, we're stable, and we're just trying to go out here and win an SEC championship this weekend. Family life, I don't know, man. I'm kind of thankful. My birthday's coming up in about 6 days. I'm thankful I don't look as old as I am. So I'm thankful for that. So that's a good thing.
About to be how old?
42. I'm about to basically get a wheelchair and call it a day. So
Jeez.
Close to Eddie's age. Close to Eddie.
Close.
What you got?
Mike Sanders. What's up, dude? We're right down the street, Mike.
We got Harrison in here. He couldn't host the show, but he could be in the. Oh boy,
I know.
Unbelievable. We got CT, Foster Moss, Gary Holt is in the building. Beyond's here. We got Trevor.
Beyond creative. All right.
Yeah, Roger Murray. Andrew Butts is in.
B Rabbit in the.
I love it. Yeah. And to answer your question, he does, Gary Holt. He remembers how to do this, like riding a bike, right? So, Paul, it's great to have you back, brother. I'm so glad to have you sitting in for Harrison. Thank you so much. Andy, good to see you again as always. I'm thankful for Mrs. Eddie from Acworth. I mean, that's an easy one for me.
I am too.
Fighting through some stuff, and she's just an awesome person and just so giving of her time to everybody, family and otherwise. But she's an amazing person, so thankful for that. And Andy, I knew somebody was going to take that. I had a backup plan. I mean, you're dead on. I can't argue with that. I'm gonna go a little outside the box here. I had one in mind, but I'm gonna go with Peyton Woodring. I am thankful that guy is on our football team. Friday now, we don't win the football game without Peyton Woodring. That guy's leg is just so underrated. He's phenomenal. And I'll say this real quick. All they could talk about on the broadcast was how good Tech's kicker was. They were just drooling over this guy.
They loved him.
Peyton Woodring is just as good. Okay. So I'm thankful for that. And I love special teams. So I love that guy.
Yeah. What was the like any good host?
You asked it. You asked the question.
The question was, what are you thankful for?
Here we go.
On the sports side of the world and on the non-sports side of the world.
Sports side of the world. Oh man. Georgia somehow is 11-1.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible probably 2 games into the season. So congratulations to them. Like kind of like what Andy said. I mean, just the continuity of what Kirby's been able to achieve. And you see all these programs around Georgia.
And elite programs like LSU that is fighting with the governors or whatever. So it's
you've got all this happening at, like Andy said, elite SEC programs. It's not happening at your school. So that's something to be thankful for. The family wise or non-sports wise would probably be, having 2 healthy kids, healthy wife, being able to do that. So glad to see your 2 gorgeous faces. I can't wait for the comments. That person that said something about like Paul shouldn't be so mean to Eddie. If you guys only did.
If they could read our text messages,
if only you knew.
Right. This is very tame. But no, let's start it off, guys. The Dogs beat Tech 16-9 on Friday afternoon. Seems like such a long time ago.
Yeah, it does, man.
You know, and we were talking about this off show, and I like the game being on that Friday slot. I do.
Mhm.
It's enjoyable. So I have my stepfather and my brother-in-law, both techies. They both came over. We got to eat some chili. Like, we got to do a second Thanksgiving, but kind of in a football way. It was really cool. It was the only game that was on TV. I enjoyed it being on the Friday. I've seen some reports that it's not going to be on the Friday anymore. I hope that it is.
Really? Have you really?
What is the reasoning behind that, though? What is that?
No, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I'm not tied in on that loop, but I think they really have a good thing going with that Friday time slot where they're at. Last year it was a night game. Yes,
it was. It was a night game. That's right.
This year was 3:30. I'm okay with the 3:30 slot where it was. I like that. So, you know, but they won 16-9. Ugly game, boys. Boring game.
Mm-hmm.
Initial thoughts on the game, guys. We haven't talked on live since the game happened.
Well, I did see that Mindy said I was saying we were going to run all over Tech, and I cursed them. I wear that fully. I do, but I will say
I think we all did. I think we all.
That's right, Paul. That's why I was pointing at myself. I said the same thing.
One little caveat, though. Nate Frasier did go for 108 yards. McCray went for 43. Stockton went for 40. So we had 190 yards on 46 carries. So we ran on them. Like, I just thought that we would keep doing it. So I think a lot of that was injuries, and that's my biggest takeaway. Drew Bobo. That dude has been the anchor to the line, and now he's not going to be there. And if he's out, and, you know, Kirby had his press conference today, and he said, we'll probably go with Malachi or Smith, you know, but losing Drew Bobo to me was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Gunner didn't have his greatest game. He looked a little week 2-ish, week 3-ish. But the defense looked good. So that was, I mean, because, you know, Haynes King is a player. A dude is a player. We kept him at 181 passing yards and 39 rushing yards. They only rushed for 69 yards against us. So that is what I'm holding on to for next week versus, you know, the old boogeyman. But the defense looks great. The offense, whatever. And we had good special teams. So a win's a win, 11-1. And we tied the drought of Georgia Tech having 8 wins over us. So it's tied 8-8. And next year we can go out and get that lead. So it wasn't pretty, but it was a win. I'll take it.
Yep. So let me ask you this before I get into the game, Paul. Were either of you guys nervous at any time during this game, or were y'all just like, we got this? The whole game, literally.
I never thought we were going to lose that game. Not 1 second did I think we were going to lose.
Time, Paul?
There were some seeds of doubt, but it wasn't. It never felt like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, even with them making that last second catch, then having a chance at the end zone, it still didn't feel like, you know, they were going to get that. And even if they did get that, I still thought that they would take over and win it overtime. Like, it was never. There were some seeds, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like I thought they were going to lose that game. It was just it was a boring game.
It was, and I think
hang on for a second, Eddie. Paul, can you put that comment by at Dog85 up? This leads into what we're talking about. What do y'all think about that?
That's
so Dog85 says, I think Gunner was pushing for NYC. I could care less about the trophy. I don't know.
I just don't think I don't agree with that. I don't think he cares.
I don't think so either, but that is a big thought, because I mean, there's a lot of people saying, hey, if he goes out there and shows out, he might go to New York.
Well, I think the problem was for Gunner was last week against Charlotte. He didn't get any of those touchdowns. So you have to get touchdowns to get a Heisman. He didn't get any of them last week, and that's when it died. It died before it was even in Mercedes-Benz. There was no chance of him getting an invitation. Maybe if he went off for 6 touchdowns, but that wasn't ever in the game plan.
So my overall thoughts. Well, first of all, on the Gunner thing, maybe he just had a bad game, and that's allowed. I mean, because I think he did top to bottom, throwing the ball, running the ball. He made bad decisions when the pocket broke down. He ran the wrong way several times, right? He just had a bad game. So that's why, Paul, I was saying just toss this thing out, because overall what we've seen from Gunner has been good games. But the only thing that drove me crazy in this football game was, and I hate to say this because all the Bobo haters are going to be coming out of the woodwork, was Mike Bobo drove me crazy in this game. And the reason was because, Andy, you mentioned it, the running game was working. We were gashing them. And then the next thing you know, you're turning around and running these trick plays or trying to throw the ball downfield. Just keep doing it till Tech can stop it. And they couldn't all day long. I thought Bobo got too cute at times, and he didn't need to during this football game. Now, I'll reverse that and say this about Brent Key. So if y'all will remember, they came out in the second half and started rushing down the field. I don't remember what half it was, whatever. It doesn't matter. The Ellis Robinson interception. I don't remember when exactly in the game that was.
I think
but if they kept doing what they were doing at that point in the game, they had gained total momentum. And I thought Key panicked in that situation and tried to throw the ball downfield, and it ended up being an interception for us. He panicked a little bit and got away from what he does, which is Haynes King running all over us. So it was both sides of the ball. But to come out in the second half and go 3 and out, not run the ball one time, and then do it again on the next series, it wasn't a 3 and out, maybe a 4 or 5 and out. That's when I got a little nervous because Tech had all the mo. But our defense stepped up and didn't let Haynes do really much of anything.
Well, you're talking about that interception. That was right after the start of the second half. So we came out 3 and out, and then they got the ball. They're going, and we get the pick. So, yeah, it was right then. So they did have the momentum from stopping us coming out.
Right.
And plus our that right there at the end, that 2-minute drive at the end of the first half was terrible. So we had
even Kirby. And you know what? I'll say this real quick on that. I thought Kirby was awful on the time management there, but it was nice to see him admit that in the post game. Now, he didn't say I was awful, but he said, probably could have done things a little differently there, and we would have gotten 7. He admitted that he kind of screwed that up.
So
and it was bad.
So, Paul, that point of the game at that halftime, like before the half, that's when I thought we were about to blow them out. I said, okay, it's over. I thought we were going to score a touchdown and go in and then come back out in the second half, score another, and it was going to be over. And that's kind of when it just seemed like we were in that lull. But
I was curious while you guys were talking, and I went and looked just out of curiosity's sake how many plays Georgia ran against Texas compared to Tech, just to see if something was different. And really there wasn't. Against Texas, I think it was 65 plays, and against Tech, it was 67 plays. Really? Just so happens that 46 of those were carries for Georgia, whereas 21. Normally we see, so I'm sure if we went back and looked at it, you'd probably see closer to 28, 29 attempts for Gunner. He only had 21 against Tech. Yeah. So it was a different game plan. A lot of folks, we've got Phil my Kraken now. That's a hell of a name. Says, I just think we're being vanilla on purpose. Okay. For what? For why?
Yeah, I know. I don't agree with that.
You're at the end of the season. There's nothing you're hiding from teams anymore. You might have a fake punt that you've got, drawn up in the bag or a Cass Jones, QB pass out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But what you are. The whole vanilla thing, like that vanilla stuff really kind of gets, I don't know, it gets on my nerves a little bit because there's nothing to be vanilla about. You're just, and then JC says a lot more QB design run than normal. If you're vanilla, you don't want to put QB in harm's way. Yeah, there's a lot of design QB run.
Yeah, there were.
And if you want to, like JC said, if you want to be vanilla, you do not let Gunner run the ball as many times.
And our pass blocking was not great on Friday. And I think that's why they were
terrible.
I think that's why we were running as much as we were, because we couldn't pass block. And
okay, so that leads us to Foster Moss says too late in the season to talk about vanilla. Yeah, we're on chocolate with drizzle and sprinkles now. There's no more vanilla.
I had a little bit of that earlier. For my birthday cake.
Okay. I was like, man, that was like a squirrel moment that you just went there for a second.
My biggest fan over here, Hannah Harris. It was her birthday as well. So happy birthday, Hannah. She's my niece.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Hannah. Congratulations. Jay Brooks, Georgia says Tech limits possessions and you can't make mistakes. Yeah. I mean,
that is so true.
They do limit possessions. We saw Tech had, I don't know how many 8 or 7 minute possessions. It felt like 2 or 3 against Georgia in that game. So let's see here. We got another question here. It says, did y'all think there were a bunch of run plays where Gunner gave it when he should have kept it and kept it when he should have gave it? Because I sure did.
Sure.
There was a few. There was a couple. There was a couple that I thought Gunner took, and I was like, oh, he's got it. Didn't have it. But it is. They walked away with a win. So with all that being said, we got to sit back and watch the SEC unfold before us. We didn't know if Georgia was going to be in or not. There were some things that had to happen for Georgia to get in the SEC championship game. So all eyes were on Texas A&M and Texas right after that game. And of course, Texas A&M loses. Yep. Georgia is now in. And then we get to watch on Saturday. So Friday night, you're Kirby. You're saying, all right, we're in. We can at least, start the prep for either Alabama or Ole Miss. And then you watch the Iron Bowl Saturday night. Auburn has some chances to knock Alabama not only out of the SEC championship game, out of the playoffs completely. Yep. Didn't happen. And now the boogeyman is headed back to Atlanta. Same stadium you just played in Friday, you're going back to on Saturday. And you're going in there. Let me ask you guys this. Less confident? Were you had this been an off week? Would you be more confident or less confident or the same going into this game against Alabama after watching them play Georgia Tech?
I would have been more confident simply because Drew Bobo was healthy and Green got banged up as well. That's my biggest issue. But watching that Alabama team, it's not like they're the 2020 Alabama team. They're not. We can beat them. We should have beat them. And James, are you looking in my window? They're not.
Eddie's got to put his glasses back on. I won't take the comment off yet. He can't see.
Look, he finally sees it.
Yeah.
But no, I would have, if we didn't get injured, I would be just as confident no matter what the score of the Georgia Tech game was. But with the offensive line getting dinged up, I'm not as confident as I was last week, but I still feel pretty good about it. So.
Eddie, question to you as well, my friend.
No, it's Alabama. I'm sorry. I have zero confidence that this team is going to beat Alabama on Saturday. And call me whatever you want. I don't care. Not a fan, whatever. It's in their heads now, and it's in Kirby's head. And
like they
see that crimson number. No, it's not. I'm not 1-10 versus Alabama or 2-10, whatever it is. Kirby's 1-7. It is absolutely in their heads. And I have watched this movie over and over. We watched Alabama play yesterday, and they looked completely beatable. Andy said that, right? They can't run the ball. Auburn should have beaten them. Well, guess what? You know what Alabama's going to do. They're going to come out and play a perfect half against us, whether it's the first or the second, and it's going to be all she wrote. And you know what? I'm okay with it at this point. I'm just going to sit back and watch the game and just accept it as a loss. If we win, great. I'm excited. I'm not going to just sit there and hate watch it like you think I do, Paul. but I've seen this movie over and over and over, and until they prove me wrong, this is a loss Saturday. Sorry, it just is.
You're speaking from the head, and that's probably the correct way to do it because yes, it 1-10, and I get it and all that. But what goes up must come down. And there's a point where it changed. Florida used to do this to us back in the 90s. And John Bellamy, you shut up. You're not with Eddie. And Florida used to do this to us. They were the boogeyman, and no longer we took it over. It's going to change. And you know what? Why not this year? And even Nick Saban was on TV Saturday talking about how hard it is to beat a team twice in one season. And I know we did it against Texas last year, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But he mentioned specifically, he's like, yeah, we beat Georgia in the SEC championship and they beat us in the national title game. So,
well, the other thing that gives me a little pause here is that I know Kirby talks about how he wants to win the SEC. It's the most important thing to him and his team. But who's the more desperate team in the corner right now?
Bama's
fighting. Bama's fighting for their playoff lives. Now, I kind of think in the back of my mind, even if they lose, they're in. But they're playing us to get to the playoffs. That's their mindset, right? Now we're playing to get a bye or have a home game. That's the difference, right? And we don't get that bye. That's the only. Obviously, the motivation is to win the SEC. I get all that, but you understand what I'm saying. They're backed into a corner.
They are. Game. But don't you think, Paul, if this Georgia team goes out and wins this game, that is the confidence, that is the springboard that they need to make a run in the playoffs and give that Ohio State team a shot at it. So.
Sure. I think also looking a little bit past what Eddie said with the bye and the 5th or 6th seed, whatever could come from this if the ways that they sway, is you're probably, if we're looking to the future, Ohio State's probably going to win that game against Indiana.
They are.
You know,
Okay.
If we're just Vegas has them as a 5.5 point favorite, so we're going to go with that, right?
Yeah.
If you're Georgia and you win, you more than likely 100% get that 2 seed.
Yeah, you're the 2 seed. Yeah.
So the 2 seed is on the other side of the playoffs from the 1 seed.
And
the only way you would see Ohio State in that scenario is in the national championship game.
That's right.
Right.
So looking further past, you know, the boogeyman that is Alabama, yes, you want to win the SEC championship game. I think the biggest thing is you want to be on the other side of the bracket from Ohio State and let them have as many opportunities as they can to lose without you having to play them. And if you do have to play them, then it's in the biggest spotlight. Who knows what could happen, right?
Yeah.
It's the national championship game. You know, the best is on the line. JC says, I got Indiana. I mean, and then parts unknown say I'm going Indiana. Yeah.
Not me. No.
But
so, okay, Paul, you put it out there. So we just talked about the win and what that would do for him. How confident would you be coming off a loss Saturday with Georgia going into the playoffs and making a championship run?
I mean, I think there's a lot of factors that we don't know. And that would be you're going to have right now. We have to see what the playoffs going to do on Tuesday and where they're going to rank teams. Are they going to put Alabama in? Because realistically, a 3-loss Alabama team should be kicked out. If they win, then they're in. Of course, right? They're a conference winner, and then Georgia has to get somewhere put in that mix. It throws everything into a weird spiral of teams playing each other that wouldn't happen if Georgia wins. If that makes sense, you wouldn't play the 4th ranked team like they might in a bracket if they're the 5th ranked team. You might not ever see them because the number 1 team is going to play them. It's going to be a much tougher path for Georgia if they don't. And I guess my biggest thing with this whole SEC championship game was I didn't want it. And people say, "Oh, he's not a competitor. He doesn't, he doesn't want to win." Trust me, I'm a competitor in everything I do. And the competitive nature in me says, hey, let's not go lose players. Let's not go lose 2 or 3 guys in this game and bang up. And sure, if you win, it's the best case scenario you possibly could go into. But if you lose, you're at the same exact spot, if not a little worse, than if you never played in the game.
That's right. Put Alex Page's comment up there. Paul, are you implying? You see that one? Because that's interesting.
Says, Paul, are you implying Georgia is scared of Ohio State or just saying avoid Ohio State early in the process provides an easy – yeah, I'm not saying Georgia's scared of Ohio State. If there is a team that is probably the best team in college football this year, it's Ohio State, much like Georgia was in 21 and 22.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying they're scared, but yes, avoiding Ohio State early in the process provides a much easier path to the championship than having to be on their side of the bracket. It's like when you look at high school brackets, which Andy will look at here in a little bit, and you see you're on that side of the bracket with X team.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, we're never going to get past the Elite 8. We're just, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good a team we are. We're not going to get past the Elite 8. Whereas if you don't have to play them in the Elite 8 and you can play them in a championship game, anything can happen.
Yep.
Trevor says, well, we're in it. So, we are.
No, you're right. I mean, and like I said, I told y'all last week, Andy, that I flipped on this thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want it, just like Paul laid out for all the reasons he said. But you know what? It's another opportunity for me to sit down at 4:30 on Saturday and watch the team I love more than anything play football. Fine with me. I'll take it all day long.
Well, I've always been about I want to play for the SEC. I want to win it. I want to win every game. I want them to play every game. But then once Drew Bobo,
you think they're going to win every game, Andy?
I definitely think they're going to win every game. Kirby Smart's the head coach. I will always pick the Dogs. But
and so will Vegas for the most part. I mean, Vegas backs you as well.
Vegas currently has Georgia as a 1.5 point favorite. And they were a 2.5 point favorite in Athens this year, and going to Atlanta, it's a 1.5 point favorite. And so, I mean, I just think it's going to be. I want it. I want them to win it. I hate that Drew Bobo got hurt. That scares me. But what we got here?
That's
publicly declaring a loss ain't going to help. Angela says, Eddie.
No,
for the Alabama game.
Well, I don't know how long Angela's been watching us play Bama, but I've seen this movie over and over and over. And until I see something different, I will call this a loss. So call me whatever you want.
Harrison Reno says, the day Andy picks Georgia to lose, I will join Paul Meharry in retirement.
Yeah, that's
you got
not
a long ways to go, Harrison. You got a lot. We've done this show, I don't know, what, 3 years now, 4 or something like that. Yeah, and I think Andy's combined regular season record for Georgia is either 36-0 or 48-0.
Right there.
Yeah, I think so.
That is correct. But with that being said, what does Kirby do? He wins. It's 11-1 last year. What were we? 11-1 last year. I mean, I did say this year we would go 11-1. I thought we would. I actually thought we'd lose to Texas and beat Alabama. So I was wrong on those. I flipped those. But
you did call 11-1 though. Yes, you did.
You did call out a loss this year.
I did. I said 11-1. The Texas would beat us, and I said we'd beat Alabama. But
Jay Brooks says same scenario as 2023. Bama escapes the Iron Bowl and UJ is favored. Yes, UJ is favored. Last I saw, 1.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
1.5. Georgia is favored in that game. We'll get our opinions and predictions later on the show on that. Parts Unknown's giving us $2 to get his name up in the show.
Love it.
He says Vegas is crazy. Forests always have UGA favorite.
I like it.
Yeah. Appreciate the money there, Parts Unknown. Appreciate that, brother. 33-18.
James Caraway coming in hot.
He didn't say who though.
He said dogs. He said that today. He's got the dogs.
All right.
This is a big one, guys. Scott Anderson says seniors this year perfect against Florida Tech, Auburn, and it would be Florida Tech, Auburn, and Tennessee. I think is what he
right
there.
Right. Yeah.
What's
unbelievable. Actually, they're 5-0 versus all those teams, are they not? We'll do the math. I think they are.
Yeah, I think they're 20-0. Yeah. It's crazy. Congrats to them.
That's insane.
That's something that you just never thought you would see. Real quick, guys, before we kind of jumped around. We went to the SEC title game there. My bad. I didn't read the
no, that's good.
Show notes here.
It's okay. We can go back.
Player of the game. Real quick. We'll touch on this. Tech player of the game. Andy, who you got?
Look, I took Brett Thorson because the offense was sputtering the whole game pretty much, and he kept punting the ball. He had 4 punts for 205 yards. He averaged 51.3 yards a punt. And, I mean, his 61-yard long. That dude, he's struggled a little bit coming back from the knee injury, but when Friday night, when we couldn't score, couldn't get it in the end zone, he was flipping the field. So I took him. I thought he was our best offensive weapon Friday night.
I like that.
Trip Brady says Eddie's not a real fan, just like pretending to be a sport talk host.
Well,
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks. Paul loved that comment. So
I did. Who's your player of the game, Eddie?
But I'm not a real fan, so does this even matter what I say?
Did you watch the game, or were you watching girls basketball?
No, I was cutting hedges. I wasn't watching the game. So. Well, this was going to be my thankfulness, but I changed it at the last minute. But it's Zachariah Branch, number one. Yeah. First of all, where would we be this year without this guy coming to the University of Georgia?
So I want to say something. I picked this up before and I should have probably sent this to Dash, but I didn't have time. I looked and I was curious where Zachariah Branch ranked on the receptions in the season totals, in a season reception totals. And I looked it up. I think he was tied for third at the time. Now he's second. I think he's 10 behind the late Bryce Hunter.
Really?
Just saying. Difference maker. Dude with the ball in his hand is he the best transfer Georgia's gotten in the NIL era?
Yes.
In the NIL era, yes.
Name another one. You can't.
Yeah, I was
thinking
right
now he is.
I was thinking Darian Kendrick, but he wasn't NIL.
No.
I was thinking
Kendrick was a good one. Mo Smith was a good one.
Mo Smith was NIL.
Smith was a really good one.
Mo Smith set something different for Georgia when he came from with Kirby from Alabama.
He did. He brought that coach on the field in the back, like he was that guy. And Darian Kendrick, he came over and was locked down. So I love.
But Zach Branch is. I mean He's literally, when they got the ball in his hands after I was just screaming, where is Zach Branch? And he picked up that third down on that bubble screen and went for 25 yards right before his TD. You remember that? And then that play to make that TD was absolutely disgusting. I don't know how he senses where the defensive back is behind him, but that was just sick to stop on a dime and curl and go into the end zone. And I said to Kelly, get him the football. He's the best player on the field, and he makes things happen. And then he makes that catch in the fourth quarter across the middle. You remember that with 9 minutes left, and it was 3rd and 10. That was a clock burner is what that was. We didn't get any points out of that. But if you don't pick up that first down, you don't flip the field there. This guy is an absolute gamer. I mean, he is unbelievable. And what I love about him is he acts like he's been at Georgia for 4 years. He gets it. He says all the right things, talks about how much he loves his program. I can't say enough about Zachariah Branch. And he is phenomenal.
And let's be honest, he was a 5-star coming from USC. Like,
yes,
you didn't expect him to come in and kind of embrace the culture and be a leader. Like I was thinking, oh man, like he's a good player, but gosh, a 5-star.
Who was that receiver we had a few years ago who came in from USC? We
Michael
all had high hopes
Jackson.
for.
Michael Jackson.
Yes. And we were all like,
it's not even the same playing field, but yeah.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Coming from that program, you have high expectations, but he never lived up to it. This guy has lived beyond anything we expected out of him. He's unbelievable. And watch him in his interviews. Go ahead. Sorry.
The doctor's in the building says Stetson Bennett was a transfer.
Kind of.
Harrison Reno. God, that really sounds like a porn star name, doesn't it? Harrison Reno says J.R. Reed pre-NIL was pretty damn good. J.R. Reed was good too.
Yeah. But he's not Zachariah
Branch. The only reason J.R. Reed came was so that Kirby could get his cousin D'Angelo Gibbs, and it turns out he played a lot.
We didn't even get. So he ended up leaving. He left us out. So
Foster Moss says, does he come back? Talking about Zachariah Branch. I don't think so.
No.
Can he? Is he eligible? I don't know.
He can.
He is? Okay. Yeah, I don't think so. No.
He can, but
he's an early 2nd-round pick, don't you think, Paul, at this point?
Yeah, I think he's moving up draft boards fairly fast.
Yeah.
And then also you go look at the wide receivers coming out next year, brother. It's kind of like the Carson Beck situation.
Yeah, go when you can. Yeah,
go when you
Jeremiah
get out.
Smith's class, right?
And
Ryan
Coleman,
Williams.
Williams. Like it's a stacked
That's
class.
A good point.
That's just the 3 top guys that we're talking about. There's a bunch of other ones too.
He'll go, and we'll get Cam Coleman in next year. He's coming here. So
that's on your wish list.
Some mock drafts already have Zachariah Branch mocked in the 1st round. So
are you serious?
Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go if that's the case.
Yeah, you got to get up out of here.
Paul, who's yours? I'm curious who's yours is.
Nate Frasier, and here's the reason. Here's the reason why. Watching the game, and again, we had folks over, so like I'm used to watching the game. I'll either watch it with a few buddies who are pretty intense into the game, or I'll watch it with pretty much you guys through the text thread, because I mean it is pretty much. I just keep the thread open and just respond to it. So it's like I'm watching it with you guys. But I had some folks over. I was watching the game, but kind of watching the babies at the same time. You know how it is. But they popped up a stat on the screen: 97 yards, I think it was, that he had in the first half.
Yeah, he was going off. Yeah.
And I said, "Oh."
But what happened? I think Paul's having a little issue. So what happened to Nate Frasier though? Like, did he get injured? Was there anything?
Froze out there, Paul. Go back to what you were saying. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, you're good now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was super impressed with him. Now, I think Andy said what happened. I think he got banged up because it turned kind of weird there. I didn't see him much in the second half.
Yeah.
You also heard Kirby say in the post game press conference, and guys, there's one thing you take away from me, guys. One thing. Watch the press conferences. Kirby will tell you what you want to hear. You just got to listen.
Yep.
He said Chauncey Bowens could have played.
Yeah.
We didn't see it. Excuse me. We didn't see him, though. We saw a heavy dose of Josh McCray.
Yeah.
Cash Jones got 1 carry. Dylan Bell got 1 carry. Did not see any Peanut. Didn't think we'd see any Rob, but really it was the Nate Frasier show in the first half, McCray show in the second half, and you got home. You went home.
let's not just gloss over Josh McCray. I thought he had a hell of a game. I mean,
to not play him for what, 4 weeks, it felt like?
Right,
Yeah.
but he's set up as that 4th and 1, 3rd and 2 back, right? And he was coming in there and getting 10, 12 yards at a chunk. He looked really good to me. I was really impressed.
I will say this about that. I did not like when they were running McCray east and west. I want him to go straight forward. I do not like it. Looked like they were running some plays that they should have been running with Nate Frasier or Peanut, and they were letting him run. And he just doesn't have that next level, and he doesn't have the shiftiness that you see with Frasier. So I didn't.
Shoot 'em just said the same thing. Yeah,
that's right. Shoot 'em. We're on the same team, dude. Yeah, I don't know why they were doing that, and that's what Eddie. You were kind of talking about, Bobo maybe a little was not his best game, and I wondered if that was why are we doing this with McCray? That was one of those weird things, but no, he looked great. He had 13 rushes for 43 yards and a long of 8. So I mean, he had a really good game. But let's not just gloss over Cass Jones's 1 carry. That was a massive 4th down pickup, right? And he kind of tumbled over that guy and got that 1st down. Oh, that was a huge play in that game. But now, if it's me on that, that's where I want Josh McCray pounding straight up the middle.
I agree with you. I agree.
So and
every time they put Cash in the game, even the announcer said, "Well, this is a pass play."
Yeah,
that's what this is, right? And they did run it there, but I mean, you could pretty much key in on a pass play when 32's in the backfield. That's just the way that it is.
Yeah, Compa says need a heavy dose of cash to beat Bama with the laughing face, and he is now banned from the chat. That is crazy how that happens. That's crazy.
We saw that about 7 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago. Yeah, we probably don't need to do that again. So
yeah. All right, guys. SEC title game. Georgia's got Bama. We need some score predictions, boys.
You want me to go first?
We always go around the horn here. Yeah, take it home.
All right.
Andy.
Well,
because I feel like we both probably need to go. Well, maybe no. Actually, we need to put them in the middle because for reasons we know.
I'm not as confident as I would have been again with Drew Bobo getting hurt and Ernest Green getting banged up. I felt really good before that game, before they got hurt. But I still think we played Friday evening. You know, Alabama was playing late Saturday night down in Auburn. We were in Atlanta. We were back home in an hour and 15. They didn't get home till probably middle of the night. I think we have an extra day, maybe day and a half of recovery. I feel Georgia is going to somehow pull it out and win that SEC championship and get that number 2 seed. I think we're going to win that game 23-17.
We've got a lot of folks in the chat. Lisa's one of them, says, my main worry is Bobo's injury.
Legit. That's a legit worry.
That's my biggest issue. I think. Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys this: who comes out as a starting center on Saturday night? Because we're all just going to assume Bobo's out, right?
It's Tolliver. It's Malachi Tolliver. He'll be the starter.
I disagree with you, Paul.
Micah Morris.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Micah Morris. They got a week to work on it, and he's run some there. Dontrell Glover has too. Kirby said that.
He did say that.
I don't think Tolliver made some of the right calls. He's young.
And his snapping was a little bad as well. He was a lot of snaps.
I mean, he's nervous, right? I mean, he's thrown into a situation he's not ready to go.
I'm going to sound real ignorant here, but haven't we seen Micah Morris at center before? And somebody in the chat might be able to help me.
Yes.
I feel like we have.
Yes.
I think
at one point last year.
Yeah, last year he played center. Yeah.
And then who knows? You have kind of a Swiss Army knife in Donnie Glover. Like that kid is different. And every time Kirby he talks about, the program he came from, Langston Hughes, and how different they are. We'll talk about Langston Hughes here in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to put your 5 best on the field, and your 5 best include Ernest Green, Monroe Freeling, Micah Morris, and the two true freshmen, and Gaston and Dontrell Glover. So, and then you kind of go from there. The problem is, and what Georgia's done a really good job of with everybody being healthy these last few games, is they've been able to rotate Gaston in and maybe take Green out for a series or take Michael Morris out for a series. I don't know who that 6th man is. and it can't. Your 6-man, ideally, you don't want it to be your center, so it's not going to be Tolliver.
Right.
So you've got to find a new 6-man, and if you want to play that way, if not, I don't know the last time Georgia's played all 5 of their guys every snap. I don't know if it's happened at all this year.
And it's almost impossible with Ernest Green being banged up. That's next to impossible.
Yeah.
All right. So my thoughts on the game coming up, Paul. Cheap shout out here. Join UGA Sports. You get 50% off, and you can see things like this because this was on the dog vent today. And I'm just going to read this to you. This is from, let me get his name right, Bulldog in North Cal.
And just so you guys know, we don't normally do this. We're giving you a look behind the curtain here.
Little behind the paywall.
Promo. We've got a little special promo.
Put the banner up there, Paul. Put the banner up there.
I got you.
Join 50%.
Okay, well, Eddie,
this is what he wrote.
Eddie, 1 second. I'm going to interrupt you because I'm sorry, but because of what we're talking about, James, Paul, you're talking about that Kirby will tell you what he wants you to hear. He did in his press conference say we do not want to be doing that, and that's why I think it's going to be Malachi Tolliver. Because of what Kirby was saying. But who knows? There's still 6 days to go. But yeah. All right.
Okay.
Chris Taylor is giving away the farm. Here he goes.
All right, Eddie. Sorry,
I'm not giving away the farm. All right, this is what this gentleman said to Kirby Smart. 1-7. This is versus Bama. 0-3 in the SEC championship. 2nd and 26. Ended winning streak in 2023 SEC championship game. Eliminated you from the playoffs. Ended regular season winning streak in 2024. Ended home winning streak in 2025. This team, Bama, has directly cost you 2/3 national championships. What are you going to do about it? And I'm going to be gross here. We're all tired of losing to these assholes. That is a beautiful post on the dog vent right there. What are you going to do about it? And I think James mentioned it on our text. James Caraway, shout out to you. I think he's 100% right. I want to see angry Kirby this week. I don't want to see vanilla Kirby. Kalen DeBoer is a great coach. Bama's a great team. I want to see angry Kirby. Get after this football team. All that being said, 31-30
Bama. Tennis Girl called them the Georgia Poodles earlier and says, haha, going to lose again. We appreciate your viewership, Tennis Girl. Thank you so much for watching.
That's a troll. She's a troll.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, though. It helps.
Of course. I mean, I always say appreciate it, but she's a troll.
Yeah, I did think this was funny too. Alex Page says, "Eddie, what's gross about the word assholes?"
Well,
You see
I say that, Alex. I know my wife said to clean it up because a few years ago I was cussing a lot, and I tried to clean it up. So I just put that out there because there are some kids that watch the show, right?
My niece is watching this show, and she's a college student.
There you go.
She's never heard a word like that, So,
yeah, she's never heard that before.
We try to be gentlemen around here. We're Southern gentlemen, so that's all.
That's unbelievable. Where is it? Chris Taylor says, got a lot of respect for the program. Trevor, I can't handle this filthy language. Yeah, man. We're gonna get
yeah, no, you're right about it. But Seto Chroma up there.
Roddy is a sailor.
He or she is right about that.
Oh, Roddy's a sailor, so Eddie, you're good. Yeah.
That's exactly right. You're right about that.
John Green says, still waiting on lunch with Eddie to discuss this game. All right. Josh Stewart says, what's the YouTube channel? I want to subscribe. Just go search UGA Sports on YouTube and come hang out with us over here.
I'll post it in the chat.
Good.
Andy will get it. Fred F says, appreciate not cussing. Fred is a big – yeah, Fred. Well,
That was a quote, though. Can you read direct quotes and not be accused of cursing?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're fair there.
All right.
Georgia, I like Andy convinced me a little bit with the extra day of prep.
Yeah,
and I think that might be one reason why Kirby might want to keep that game. But to go back to that, we talked about that earlier. Not to go too far back on that. If Georgia switches to an SEC 9-game schedule and you can't have Cupcake Week in front of Georgia, then you got it. Georgia Tech, you got to move that game to Saturday. You can't have a short week after playing an SEC team. But if Cupcake Week still stays, I'm fine with it being Friday. 31-27 dogs.
I like it.
Get the boogeyman out of here.
I thought you were going to Riverside me and say 31-30 dogs. That would have been great.
No, 31-27 dogs. Man. I don't know why.
It's time. It's time. That's why.
It is. So I guess I watched Alabama against Auburn, and I saw a team that should have probably lost that game. And I don't know.
Did you watch Georgia against Tech?
And I'm getting there, Eddie. Damn. And I don't know why Auburn didn't put in Deuce, because I
agree with that. That was
probably could have won them that game.
Yeah.
And we'd be talking about a team that's going up against Ole Miss, which they've seemed to have rallied around Pete Golding. So maybe it's better that you've got Bama, honestly. Harrison Reno says, don't fall for this trap.
Chris Taylor, post his
Harrison.
You have to remember that Ty Simpson played out of his mind, and they won by 3.
And this week versus Auburn, he went 19 for 35 for 122 yards. If we keep that guy under 200 yards, we are going to curb stomp them.
Here's the difference, guys. This defense is a lot better than they were the first time they played. And I'm talking about Georgia.
Yes.
A lot better. First time, I mean, gosh almighty, the first time they played against Bama and then Tennessee and then like all those, it was just like watching, it was like watching us 3 out there trying to play on the defensive line. You couldn't stop the other team. And this is a completely different defense. They've locked in, they've honed in, and I think that's why Georgia gets the win.
Is Alabama better today than they were when we played them 2 months ago? Maybe marginally.
Yeah, I was going to say they're slightly better for sure.
Our defense is a lot better than it was when we played them. I think we're going to cover. They were beating us up in that middle, the middle hash on those passes. We're going to cover that crap. Dogs win. We're going to the SEC championship. We're winning it, and we're getting that number 2 seed. So.
But our offense cannot do what they did against Tech, or we will get murdered. I mean, that was atrocious what we did against Tech. And I'm sorry, but Tech is not the defense Alabama is. They're just not.
No,
and
they're not.
We looked lost. We looked scared. And if we do that again Saturday, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Defense playing well. You're right, Paul, but we got to have some offense.
I think you've got 33 coming back. You can rely on him.
That's true.
You've got Nate Frasier. You've got McCray, who you can rely on. You've got to get the ball into Zachariah Branch's hands.
Can we throw the balls to the tight ends, please, for the love of God?
Tight ends didn't. So here's
one
kind of
throw to a tight end, and it was an
so
interception.
Here's to back up Eddie's point.
Yes,
receiving receptions on Friday where there was only 11 of them. 5 went to number 1, of course, and I feel like he should have gotten all 11, but whatever.
Should have.
Josh McCray had 2 of them, so he was out of the backfield.
That's crazy.
Nate Frasier had 2 of them. He was out of the backfield. The only other 2 passes went to Dylan Bell, 2 receptions for 3 yards, with one of them being 6 yards. So he lost.
One was a negative 3 yards.
Yeah.
And John Green wrote tight ends were open, and they were. And we've got to attack that middle of the field. We've got to. Eddie, I'm with you. I don't know why we didn't use those guys. And again, it was weird. Again, 21, like Paul said, 21 attempts. It was odd. There was something odd going on Friday night. I think we revert back to that.
Can I ask you guys this? Why was Gunner? Because Gunner looked like a freshman to me. He looked like, you mentioned it, Andy, Marshall or Austin P. It's almost like he reverted.
He did
back to what he was when he first started. Why? And we can't say it's because Bobo was out. Paul, you mentioned that in the text thread. He went out in the second half. He was reverting back before Bobo went out of the football game. So why is that? What was going on there?
Right here.
And I don't think it has anything to do with the Heisman thing. It has nothing to do with that. Why did that happen?
Chris Taylor's got it right there. Gunner was coming off his first option very quickly, and we saw this at the beginning of the season. Now, I'm not a tape breakdown expert like Brent Rollins, and I don't claim to be. But you could see at the beginning of the year, if his first read wasn't open, he was going back to kind of his high school ways of, all right, I'm going to take off. And he used to be able to do that in high school.
You ain't doing it now.
Do that in the SEC. You can't do that. And he came off of his first option, and then he wasn't scanning the field. He's done a tremendous job of getting that better throughout the season. I mean, he's night and day difference from the beginning of the year. Problem is, though, like Eddie said, he reverted back to that against Tech, and you hope that is just a one-off weird Friday game in the bins. You know, I don't know what to answer your question, Eddie. I don't know what the answer is, because you hope that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because if it happens again, This team cannot go very far with him looking like he did against Tech,
Not
regardless of if there's 21 passes called or 10. You have to be able to execute on some of those.
But the season tells us that was an aberration, right? I mean, overall, in the big moments, he's been phenomenal, and that was just an aberration, right? That's what we got to hope for.
We got that's we got to hope. Yeah.
Harrison says Brent Rollins told him at half that it was his first Georgia Tech rivalry game. A Georgia kid playing in this rivalry for the first time, probably way too amped up.
Maybe.
Maybe. He doesn't seem
he played in first game rivalries all year against Tennessee, against Auburn, and he looked great.
I don't know.
And 75% of the crowd was Georgia fans inside there. In the bench.
Right.
It wasn't like he was playing at Rocky Top, for the first time or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Paul, you said Georgia wins. I say Georgia wins, and Eddie says 31-30 for the boogeyman. Well, let's hope this time next Sunday night we're all happy, and
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm
you are
wrong.
too. God, I hope you're
Eddie? Do you, Eddie?
He does. He definitely does.
Of course I do.
Real quick, we'll go through the Falcons, guys. Not much to talk about here. They got beat by the Jets 27-24, falled at 4-8 on the year. This team, man, it's just like I had it on, right? Because I'm a freaking psycho and watching it. And there was this sliver of, I don't know why. I was like, man, they could win this game. I mean, 10 wins is still reachable. 10 wins probably gets you in the playoff. Like, you start going down that rabbit hole, right? And then you realize they can't beat the New York Jets with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. And you saw how this move was going to play out with the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, how it was going. I don't know if I'm done, like Super Goat Dog says, wasting precious time on the Falcons when we can discuss GHSA playoffs.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm not going to hard cut us at 8:30. Hey, we'll get there. I don't know, man. It's not fun football, they have fun pieces too. And I heard it might have been on the radio, might have been somewhere else. You take away Josh Allen from the Bills, and you take away the quarterbacks from the Falcons, who has a better football roster? And it's probably the Falcons. And that's probably the saddest part of it all.
Yeah, that does hurt your feelings. That means it's coaching. No, like Bijan Robinson, 23 carries for 142 yards. He had 5 catches for 51 yards. And Kyle Pitts went off today. How about that?
Yeah, he did.
82 receiving yards. And they still find a way to lose. And and I swear to God, I did not know Nick Folk was still kicking footballs in the NFL. I thought that guy was retired. I thought he was Eddie's age. I thought they were in the retirement home together. And he does that weird 58-yard field goal, the longest of his career.
Every week there's something with the Falcons, dude.
Yes.
You get the longest field goal of Nick Folk's career, who you thought retired 6 years ago.
I thought he was dead. I didn't know.
You get the longest of his career. You get every week there's this new stat that comes out against the Falcons. You know, and this week it's Nick Foles, the 60-year-old, kicks a 56-yarder to win it. You know, longest of his career. It's just let's
put Stacey Carter's comment up there, because that's where I'm going with this briefly, and then we'll move to GHSA. You see it, Paul? 822 Stacey Carter. There we go. That's exactly. She's 100% right. I assume you're a girl. 100% right.
Stacey's a gender neutral name. Let's calm down.
It is. Okay. Whatever. I mean, she's got 2 kids there. It's probably a woman.
Well, you just said it again. It could be a man.
All right. Whatever. Who cares? That's not the point of what I'm talking about.
Stacey Carter
down.
Cares.
All right. We had a muff punt on the 5, and that led to a TD. We had a kickoff return allowed for 50 yards that allowed A.D. Mitchell, who, by the way, went off for 100 yards, over 100 yards of the TD against us. We missed a 50-yard field goal. We made a field goal to make it 17-14, and then we allow a kickoff return all the way back to our own 15, and then they score on it. I looked it up. Do y'all know who the special teams coach is? I'm sure you know. You don't know, and you don't care. So I'll just say it. It's Marquise Williams. He's been with this organization since 2021, okay? But the Falcons fired their wide receiver coach and moved the offensive coordinator down to the field. So we're good, guys. We're good. Just keep doing what you're doing. Special teams is great. That is in the NFL, when it comes down to one play, 3 points or whatever, The special teams is the most important thing in the NFL, and we have been garbage at it all year long. Yet Rich McKay's got a plan, guys. Don't worry about it. Arthur Blank and Rich McKay got this. We're good.
Well, you're talking about special teams. You saw the punt that when we punted it right back there at the end of the game. Like, I thought they were going to house it. Got up to the 40-yard line. I mean, they were one or two blocks away from breaking.
There's another one.
There.
That's right.
Yeah.
But again, they went into this year with Younghoe Koo, who couldn't kick a field goal. And then they cut him and went to some guy who couldn't make a field goal. Then they got rid of him, and now they've got Zane, whatever his name is. He's good. But, I mean, it took you 8 games to figure all this crap out. It's a joke. The organization is a joke, and I despise you, Arthur Blank. Just go away.
Well, what's not a joke is the GHSA football. That's not a joke. That's some good stuff. So I know there's a lot of people that love some GHSA football. So let's talk about some of those. How about that? I went through the whole list to see who all won and lost, and some of the guys, the typical ones that we thought would win.
I want to say this. I'm not to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
I'm kind of, for whatever reason, in on like GHSA playoffs.
You are. You've been texting a lot about that.
Right.
Yeah, and normally I really honestly couldn't care less. And I'm looking at it Friday night, trying to see who won, stuff like that.
It's great.
Yeah. So we almost also, by the way, in our group chat, we almost just announced another coach firing that didn't happen. But it didn't happen because fake account.
I was about to say, is
That's
Harrison
here?
Yeah, is Harrison gonna break a coach firing? So, but no. So let's look at the private school. So Greater Atlantic Christian School, they beat Athens Academy 49-14 to advance to play Hebron Christian, who beat Prince Avenue 63-20. And hey, let's give a shout out to our man right there. $4.99.
Hearts Unknown with the $5. Eddie got me rolling on the floor laughing. Yeah.
He'll make you laugh more. Give him 10.
The man, Stacy.
Give him $10 more.
Yeah, we just lost that viewer forever.
But yeah, and so but then Fellowship Christian, they beat Savannah Christian 45-14 to advance to play Calvary Day, who beat Whitefield Academy 52-7. Like, I didn't think there would be some huge scores like that in the, I guess that was like the Elite 8. Class A1, they beat Heard County beat Fitzgerald 39-38, and they will be playing Toombs County, who beat Northeast Macon 24-6. So Worth County beat Gordon Lee 17-7 to advance to play, I don't know, I'd say this Pepperell, who beat Rabun County 34-0. Yeah, the fighting Gunner Stocktons went down this week. So
that might have been why he was off.
Maybe he was upset.
No, the game was after. Game was after.
No, because Friday. Yeah. Class A2, Clinch County beat Wheeler County 27-22 to advance to play Bowden, who beat Jenkins County 49-22.
Bowden.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mic's not on, Eddie. You look like Eddie. Your mic's not on.
We can't hear you, dude.
What are we doing?
Caden Prothrow, the next tight end coming to Georgia from Bowden. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I don't know where that picture came from. He won some award.
Yeah, he's just
how big he is.
He's just a giant.
Yeah,
he's huge, dude.
He's huge, and he runs like a deer. So
the first thought I had was Andy Reid when he was in middle school, standing next to all those kids or whatever, and he was already like 8 foot tall.
What was it? Kick, punt, pass thing.
Yeah. And the other side of the bracket for Class A2, Early County beat, I don't know how to say this, Screven County 27-20, and they will play Lincoln County, who beat Brooks County 52-16. There were a lot of big scores.
All these counties you're talking about right here, Andy, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'd give you $100 if you could point out where they are on a map.
Keep your money, dog. Keep your money.
Yeah, no way.
Congrats to him, but never could tell you where Early County or Screven County was.
Yeah,
but no idea. Good to see they're moving on.
Class AA, Sumter County beat Carver Atlanta 39-20 to advance to play Hateville, who beat Morgan County 34-22. I can show you Morgan County. But then Carver Columbus beat Thompson 36-10 to advance to play Burke County. I can show you that one, who beat Rockmart 41-40. That was close.
That's cool.
Class 3A ball, Jefferson beat Cairo 47-28 to advance to play West Lawrence, who beat Jenkins 21-16. And Sandy Creek beat Douglas Atlanta to advance to play LaGrange, who beat Stevenson 24-7. Stevenson's always pretty good.
And LaGrange is they've changed it up in Class 3A, which they're going to do in all the other classes next year. Is they've power ranked them 1 through 32, as opposed to you're like the 4th team in your region. They're just power ranking 32 teams out of each class. LaGrange is 15th. They did it in 3A this year. LaGrange is 15th, highest seed.
Wow.
Highest seed to make it this far.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
Let's go to 4A ball. So we had Creekside who beat Lithonia 35-7. That's a big game.
Creekside putting up some points this year, boys.
Yeah,
Creekside's unbeatable. Yeah, I'm afraid.
And they're moving on to play Kell, who beat Cartersville 48-21. So
nobody thought that was coming. Cartersville's got a really good team.
So we still got a Cobb County team alive. That's great. Yep.
And here we are going to talk about the Fighting Eddie from Acworth. Benedictine beat Central Carroll. Is this correct? 80-32. This is what was on the website.
I think it is.
I
think they did. They did put 80 up.
80-32. How do you score 80 points in one football game? But they are going to play Marist, the Fighting Eddie from Acworth, who beat North Oconee 23-20.
On a last-second field goal, walked them off.
I mean,
Yep.
Are you going to be at
Paul, our buddy from Marist, the OC, said it was an absolute war. And Benedictine, the good news is Marist plays at home Friday. They're in that bottom part of the bracket, so they get the home field. So that's going to be a huge game. I was going to go, but it looks like it's going to be raining all night. I have no interest in sitting in the rain to watch this football game. So I love you guys.
What a fair weather fan there. Chris Garcia says, and I trust Chris here. He says LaGrange has Billy Napier's brother as the head coach. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
that's awesome.
5A ball, we had Thomas County Central beat Woodward Academy 49-19. And
County, some dogs.
49-19. And they're advancing to play Roswell, who beat Sequoia 42-35. So, and then Rome beat Jackson County 31-17. And what are they going to do, Eddie? How's that going to work out?
They are waiting. They are waiting to play the determination of the Gainesville Brunswick fight is what they're waiting on because.
Real quick. Let's do 6A real quick. I'll do it before we get into this. Carrollton beat Grayson. 34-14.
That's incredible.
To advance to play North Gwinnett, who beat West Forsyth 25.
Grayson was like ranked nationally. They were that good.
Grayson was ranked number 1 nationally on several websites.
Oh, they were number 1? Wow.
Number
I didn't
one.
know they were that high.
Yeah,
wow.
Number 1.
That's a hell of an upset.
Buford beat Douglas County 30-15 to advance to play Valdosta, who beat Walton 45-42, and Buford's now got to travel. Buford's got to travel to Valdosta. So
gosh, that's rough.
That's a travel. But let's get back to this 5A Gainesville game. It's up in the air. Eddie, can you let us know what's going on with that?
Yeah, so just to let you guys know, Gainesville and Brunswick last Friday had a humongous fight, and it really looked like watching the tape, but Brunswick kind of started this thing. Gainesville was kind of hands off, and then people left the bench. The players left the bench. So the rule is if you leave the bench, you're out. So the initial ruling was that 39 players for Gainesville were suspended, and that happened November 24th. Then they had a hearing the next day, which I found this absolutely fascinating. The hearing the next day, the Brunswick AD goes up there and pleads the case for Gainesville, basically saying the Brunswick players kind of caused this. This is unfair. So they allowed 4 players to play and still kept 35 suspensions in place. Really did nothing. Okay. So then Gainesville files a lawsuit against GHSA for this, and the injunction was granted, and they lifted all the suspensions. Well, now the GHSA is appealing this, so now it's up in the air. So the GHSA is just stepping all over themselves. I understand there's rules in place, but come on, this is ridiculous. Now the problem with this is Rome is just sitting there waiting for an opponent, right? And Gainesville is at a total disadvantage at this point because there's nothing's been said at this point. They're just sitting there waiting for a ruling. So it's just completely unfair for these kids and what's going forward. And I think it's going to end ugly for Gainesville. It's a real shame because if you watch what happened, Gainesville, yes, they came onto the field. They shouldn't have done that. But for the most part, Gainesville was like they had 2 guys with their helmets ripped off. And then another guy comes flying in from Brunswick and just waylays a guy. And Gainesville did nothing up to that point. Now, at that point, you got to do something.
You got to defend yourself. Yeah, you can't.
Yes. And the coach can't keep players from going onto the field.
Can I play devil's advocate here, boys?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
The GHSA has to stand up in this situation.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
They have
I
to.
said that too. And I said that to my wife, Paul. I said there's rules in place, and they can't just now suddenly say, oh, well, there's a gray area. There might be going forward, but the rule is in place already that if you leave the bench, you're suspended. I agree with you, Paul, but it's just a mess. It's just created an absolute
100% agree with you. It's a complete mess. And what's going to end up happening is, regardless of what comes of this game, right? I think Langston Hughes is a really good football team. I think even if Gainesville had all of their players, I think they probably would.
Well, they play Rome next, right, Andy?
Yeah, they play Rome.
Yeah.
They
play Rome.
Yeah,
Paul.
Rome. Yeah, so Rome is.
Gainesville's got to play Langston Hughes first.
Well, yeah, they were supposed to play that. Yeah.
Okay, is that the game? I'm sorry, I got it mixed up.
Even if Gainesville had all their players, Langston Hughes is probably
they're good.
10, 12-point favorite in that game.
Yeah.
What's going to end up happening here, though, now is these games aren't going to get played, and we're going to get pushed off of getting this game inside the bins.
Yeah. And
so the actions of a few will affect not only those, even if Gainesville makes it that far, it's going to affect the other team that had nothing to do with it, whether it's Thomas County Central, whether it's Roswell, whether it's Rome, whether it's Langston Hughes. All four of those teams do not have a chance to now play inside the dome because of the actions that were done on that field. I'm not a fan of it. You can try to get it. You can try to get it taken care of this week. I doubt the GHSA will. But it's whatever. It's turned from bad to really bad. But at the same time, the GHSA is not going to roll over and let a Hall County judge say Gainesville players can play, and they not rebuttal to that. So
what's it? Let me ask you this, Paul. I'll put you on the spot. What's a rule after this all shakes out that going forward they could say, okay, we can do this now? How could they fix this going forward?
I don't know if you can.
Or could they? I don't know that they can.
Well,
I mean, what if they said we will now take into account video review?
Yeah, I think
something like that.
I think you've got to look at every player that you're suspending and give me a reason why they're being suspended, not just they were on the field. But you want to stop that from happening in the first place.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's very difficult when you have two of your teammates get their helmets ripped off and one of them get punched in the face.
Yep, it is.
So you look at it from both sides and you're like, man, there's really no outcome of this. It's going to be pretty. And I hate it for not only Gainesville,
but their opponents.
I hate it for Langston Hughes. I hate it for Rome. I hate it for Thomas County Central and Roswell, who's going to have to sit around and eventually, potentially, not be able to play their championship game inside the bins.
Right. Yeah, because that's supposed to be December the 15th through the 17th. So who knows? I mean, that's coming up in 2 weeks. So they're going to have to figure something out quick.
Yeah. We've got a special guest that's backstage.
Who we got?
He doesn't have a camera on, though. Bring him in. Harrison Reno in the stream with audio only.
What's up, Harrison?
How's it going, guys? Great show tonight.
Good.
Hey, thanks.
Missed y'all.
I mean, so we're going to put you on the spot now. Well, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we're going to put you on the spot. Georgia versus Alabama. What's the score prediction?
Right now, I have Alabama winning. I don't know the score yet, but I told myself after picking Georgia to beat them last time, I can't pick Georgia to win again until I see them do it.
So you're joining
the show. I was just here to mess with Eddie's name incognito mode. Texting Paul about it.
I noticed it was Paul's biggest fan, and I said, "Well, Harrison's back there screwing with my name." So I knew it was you.
Damn it, Paul!
I didn't see it. I didn't even see it. All right, well, we'll bring you back.
He's a
child. We'll talk
Paul.
to you in a second, Harrison, when we get done. How about that?
Yeah, it's all good.
I didn't even see the text.
Yeah,
he changed it.
All right, guys. I think we're out of here. That's enough. Huh?
Wait, before we go, I got one thing to say. All right, real quick. Forgive my obsequious bootlicking here, Paul. You can look those words up. I know there's big words for you.
Yeah,
Paul, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for hosting the show. Andy and I loved it, and I'll speak for Andy too. I know he'd agree.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for what-
obsequious bootlicking. Yeah,
obsequious. Get the word right. So thank you for what you did for myself and Andy, allowing us to do this podcast. This is a dream come true for us, and we would not be sitting here talking about sports and being idiots on the radio, podcasting, etc.
Sure.
Without your help and without you teaching us things, and we really appreciate it, Paul. We think the world of you, and we miss you. Harrison's been a great host, but thank you, Paul, for being here. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, it's fun, and it's not that I didn't want to. It's just life takes over. So
Sure.
you gotta handle life. But I'm sure I'll be around. Take the damn banner off, Harris. This is crazy.
Put Foster's comment up. He's got to.
And he got to get back to his birthday dessert. He didn't have on any pants. Yeah,
he is correct. But look, one night, Foster, you have got to get on this show with us. You and Jermaine King, him and Jermaine King will not turn the camera on. We love those. Those are like the OGs.
They're great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it was fun being back. Hopefully we could do it again, and we'll see you next Sunday. Harrison will be back taking over the ship. Andy Stowe and Eddie from Acworth will be here, and we will see you then. I about said post game overreaction show. Let me get us out of here. Turn the banner off, Harrison. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.